Welcome to Vinyl Dens on channel 33 RPM. This is the segment where we check out cool music rooms submitted by viewers from around the world. This first one comes from Corey. He's 51 years old and he lives in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. And I gotta say, these storage cabinets, these record storage cabinets are gorgeous. Check this out. Corey writes, I'm a cabinet maker by trade and occasionally enjoy building record storage cabinets for my wife and I. Like most, we started with IKEA bookshelves, but I didn't like searching our collection laying on the floor and looking at all the spines. Talking about shelves like the ones I have here behind me. Corey goes on to write, I've since built and sold a few flip style bins and record drawer cabinets, making small improvements with each new one. We have a little over 800 records in our collection that includes rock, metal, pop, hip-hop, blues, as well as soundtracks and some 80s compilations. Our cabinets are white oak with heavy-duty full extension slides. The drawers are birch plywood with adjustable backs and will hold about 80 records per drawer. That's cool, man. And the lighting here is great as well. It looks cool and must be super impressive at nighttime. I'm always using a flashlight in the dark to try to find my records and whatnot. Corey has some super cool gear too. I'll list some of it on the screen. Among the stuff he's got an Ortophone Concord cartridge on the LP120 turntables. I'm not sure which one he has, but I highly recommend the Ortophone Concord Elite. I have that on my Technics SL1200. It's one of the best cartridges I've ever heard. It's a DJ style cartridge, but built for hi-fi. Anyway, man, I dig the room. Today's episode is brought to you by Club 33. Grab a channel membership today for only $4 a month and you can cancel anytime. Club 33 members get early access to almost all my videos, an exclusive members only video every month, a shout out in each episode I do, and tons more. Your support also helps this channel continue to grow. Okay, this next one comes from Clifton, Montgomery. He's 47 years old and lives in Florida. Clifton writes, I've been collecting seriously for the last 8 years, turning my son's bedroom into a dedicated listening room after he went away for college. Clifton writes that most of the decorating in his music room is Prince-inspired. And those Prince guitars, man, look super cool. I definitely love those. Clifton goes on to write, my collection consists of about 2,500 LPs and around 3,000 45s. He's also got some 8-tracks, cassettes, mini discs, CDs, and various other media. Check it out. I love that Rekka Stowe sign, which is a nod to Prince and the Prince film Under the Cherry Moon. I like the lighting and the ambience as well. In terms of gear, check out those speakers. Those are Spatial Audio M4. I've never seen those, but they definitely look cool. I'd love to hear those in person. I'm sure they sound fantastic. He's also got a lot of cool silver face audio gear as well, including the Akai reel-to-reel. It's a cool space, man. Well thought out and well put together. All right, this next one comes from Romeo. Romeo writes, Frank, I'm Romeo. Yes, like Romeo and Juliet. I'm 44 years old and live in Portugal, a country well known for its gastronomy. I'm tongue-tied today. Well known for their food. They are well known for their food and wine, I think. Romeo says, I've been collecting CDs since 1996 and vinyl since 2008. He says around 2017, I wanted to go deeper in this hobby, and it's when I discovered your channel. I can say I've learned a lot, and it inspired me on gear, music room layout, and I discovered some cool bands that I didn't know. Very cool, Romeo. I'm glad you find value in this channel. It's always good to hear. He says he owns about 1,300 CDs, 350 records, and some cassettes, 8-tracks, mini discs, reel-to-reel, laserdisc, VHS tapes, and DVDs. A whole bunch of media, just like the previous music room as well. Romeo says, I lived a few years in Luxembourg, a small country near Germany, where I used to go to several record fairs, and I got some nice vintage gear, including that Akai reel-to-reel I mentioned, and a Technics SL 1610 Mark II turntable. He says there's also a picture of my Juliet, the old gramophone, along with 2 Canadian bottles. I have a friend living in Canada, and he always brings me some great beverages. I also dig all the technology on display, including A Sony Watchman. I haven't heard of a Watchman in years, man. He's got a Sony mini disc player, some Walkmans, and tons more. The space looks great. I like the white walls and the tall ceilings. It's sure different from a lot of the basement and spare room music rooms we see on this channel. So, Romeo, I dig it, man. Alright, 33ers, do you want to be featured on a future episode of Vinyl Dens? All the information you need to know is in the description below this video. Check it out and shoot me an email. I look forward to hearing from you. Okay, this comes from Greg. He is 59 years old and lives in Canton, Michigan, USA. Here's his basement. Greg writes, I've been collecting on and off for 45 years or so. You see, I'm tongue-tied. He says, I have a Fluence RT81 turntable and a nothing fancy Sony receiver and CD player. The largest parts of my collection are Kiss and King Crimson. I see the King Crimson influence definitely there with that throw blanket, or the blanket there on the couch. I love basement music rooms as well. My whole music setup is in the basement, so I dig that. Greg goes on to say, I have sold off and rebought lots of titles many times over the years, and now I am comfortable in my collection. He says he won an Oop Cube in a Oop Cube giveaway I did on this channel. Oop Cube are these record storage crates, and he says one of them is just his Kiss records. So zooming in, I see the stack of Oop Cubes there in the corner. I love those, man, because they store records, but they also have the display window in the front, so you can kind of see what you have in there. I dig that. It looks like Greg has also elevated his records. The stands look like they're on pallets or something, which is pretty smart when you're in a basement, because basements are often at risk of flooding. Or water backing up from the sewer, that kind of stuff. I got to raise my records also at some point. So you've reminded me that I need to do that. Greg also writes, I still haven't found a decent way to display my CDs, so they are piled up in boxes in another part of the basement. Cheers, Frank. Thanks. And thank you, Greg, for sending in over your room. This comes from Louise, and Louise writes, hello, how are you? I've been watching your videos for a while now, and I love the channel. Thank you, Louise. So Louise says, so here it goes. My name is Louise Marchand. I am 56 years old, and I live in a small community close to Montreal, Quebec, Canada. She says, I have a very modest setup, an old 30-year-old turntable, a Technics SL-D202 with a Grado green cartridge, and an old Toshiba DVD player, and a Sony receiver, and 30-year-old Mission speakers. She says, I do not have a dedicated space for music, so I put my setup in my living/dining room, and it's fine for just sitting on my couch and listening to music. Yeah, definitely. You gotta use what space you have. Louise goes on to say the CD in the picture is my favorite album by my favorite artist. His name is Jonathan Roy from Canada. She says, he is an incredible artist, and if it is possible, if my space is chosen, can you please give him a little shout out, just a plug for his amazing album. She says it's a must check out album. I wasn't familiar with Jonathan Roy, but it turns out he's the son of Hockey Hall of Fame goalie Patrick Roy, which is pretty cool. Louise says, thank you, and I really hope you choose me for a Vinyl Den segment. Yours truly, Louise Marchand. I dig the space, and thank you for submitting it. All right, this next one comes from Bob. Bob writes, hi Frank, love the channel, and some of the dens are pretty amazing. Absolutely, I agree. Bob says he's from Ireland. He's been collecting since 2018. He started with tapes and CDs, but a friend at work got him hooked on vinyl, which is awesome. He's, what does he say here? He says, I've got some Klipsch speakers and an Audio-Technica LP120 turntable, which he hopes to upgrade to a Riga P3. And he's got a Fosse Audio preamp. He says the last pick is how it started, and it quickly jumped to Audio-Technica, from Edifier speakers to the Klipsch. It's a journey. Collecting is always a journey, and the journey is the fun part. It's a cool space, man. I love the contrast with the faux brick, the wallpaper in the background. I think that's wallpaper. So, very cool space, Bob. Cheers. This one's from Rye, and Rye lives in Harvey Station, New Brunswick. Check this out. Rye writes, I am 13 years old and a vinyl addict. That's the way to do it, man. You got to start young. He says he has 254 LPs, 247 CDs, most of which were his dad's, and he also has 67 45s and a bunch of cassette tapes. Rye says, I usually only buy used LPs for less than $10 or any album within my budget. He has a 1999 Sony stereo, a Panasonic CD player, and a JVC tape deck. He says his turntable is nothing fancy, just a standard Audio-Technica LP60X, which sounds fine to me. He says, I also enjoy taping over thrift store tapes with music I dig. I've grown quite the library. Indeed you have, man. I love all those blank tapes. It reminds me of what I was doing when I was 13 years old in the 80s, and all my friends and I would swap our albums and tape them. So it was a way of building our own collections cheaply. Rye says he started collecting around 2.5 years ago, and he hasn't slowed down since. That's great to see, and it's encouraging to see that the future of this hobby is in good hands. This comes from Jeff. Jeffrey is 33 years old and lives in Heartland, Wisconsin, USA. Jeff writes, I may be young, but I'm an old soul at heart who truly appreciates the music from the golden age of rock and roll in the 1960s and 70s as much as modern stuff I grew up with. He says what started as a pandemic hobby is now a revival and passion for music collecting for 8 years now. He says channels like yourself and Dylan from Noble Records inspired me to pursue this hobby. Again, I'm happy to hear that you find value in this channel, because I sit here talking to a camera and you never really know whether you're having an impact or whatever. So it's very cool to hear. Jeffrey says his collection now consists of 150 records or so and counting. He says his vinyl den or jam room, as he likes to call it, is across from his living room, so he can still rock out to his collection while doing housework or just chilling from a long day at work. He says, I've been playing guitar for 20 years now, but keep it as an escape from the busy everyday life. That's awesome, man. I dig all those guitars. All right, 33ers, if you dug this episode, check out this playlist on the screen. It's past episodes of Vinyl Den's Hours of Pure Entertainment. I'll see you there in a moment. Until then, keep on spinning.